today and just bullshitting, talking about life, connecting. I think right now all of us need to kind of connect and find people. So come in, let's see what kind of a connection we come up with. So don't be shy. I don't bite unless you ask. All right. Tonight's theme, though, is it's my turn, right? That's something we need to start claiming. It's my turn, right? Speak that over your life, please. Claim it. Say it loud. Say it proud with your whole chest. And the bottom is the bottom. The bottom is the bottom. It's the tower. It's saying, like, okay, we have to start from ground zero. Let's start over. So sometimes you have to, right? You're like, it can't get any worse. Oh, it can, but let's not. So, all right, what are you listening to tonight? I'm just getting a bunch of decks out, seeing which one speaks to me. I'm hoping someone in particular hops in because I grabbed a deck for them. We shall see. Sometimes she listens when I call her energetically. Actually, she listens a lot more than I realize. All right. So the tower on the bottom, right? Everything good must come to an end. There's a season, and this is your season. It's your turn, right? That's what we're going to start saying. It's my turn. It's my turn to win. It's my turn to have the day in the sun. So let's claim it. Let go of what is not for you. I love Scorpio energy. I mean, it's a pain in the butt. It's kind of gnarly sometimes, but it's good though. It's like, okay, we're just going to start at the bottom. We're going to start over because starting over just means that, like, okay, we get to explore new things that we didn't see before. The Hierophant, Knight of Wands, and Seven of Swords. I love that energy. So the Hierophant, Hierophant is dealing, that's like higher knowledge, right? It's connection to divinity. It's Venus energy. It's grounded. It's stable. It's also, it's the knowing, right? It's the foundations. With Knight of Wands and Seven of Swords, it's like, okay, what maybe weren't we seeing behind everything? Who is playing, right? What deceptions were we not seeing behind the closed doors? Okay. So start asking those questions. If it's like you can't get it off of your mind, start asking the questions. Start asking your higher self the questions of, okay, what am I not seeing about this structure that maybe we need to look at, that we glossed over before? So saying it's your turn to have a good life, right? If you have sacrificed your whole life for everybody else or the institution or everybody else's happiness, your mom, your dad, it's time to say no. Like, they weren't really living the happy life. So maybe I need to do my own dang thing. Hello, Purple Haze. Seven of Pentacles. What seeds are you sowing? Because seven is our choices, right? Seven to heaven. I love numerology. I love a little bit of everything. I'm kind of a little weirdo. So Seven of Pentacles is like, what ways, what avenues are you meaning? Not your parents. So you need to, okay, so part of it, it's mind over matter. So we need to start telling ourselves, like, those old money ways that our parents made money, that's not for us anymore. Right, seven is saying, what ways do I have that I've learned that I can utilize to make money? Stop telling yourself that you're broke, especially if that's what you heard your parents say. Because you, my friend, create everything that you want in your life. So if you want that thing that your parents didn't have, you're going to have to break the rules that your parents set forth for you. So I don't know why that's coming out. I feel like that as well because, like, oh my gosh, I was doing something that I never would have done in my past life, right? Like when I was living under my parents' shell, I'm like, I never would have been in this situation. And I'm like, no, because they did everything to destroy my reputation and I had to figure out who I was from the bottom up. They don't get to have a say about what my life turned out to be, right? Because I spent so many years fucking my mind from what they said I had to be. And I'm like, you know what? If they want to say that I'm something, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to lean into that, right? So start leaning into, you have one life to live it for you. Do what makes you happy. Okay. Purple haze, is this resonating, my love? The lovers, Gemini energy is realizing that yin to your yang, because, okay, Geminis get a bad rap, right? So Geminis is, it's saying like, are you embracing the yin to your yang? Jess, I'm doing collective energy reads, so sit in and listen, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly and keep moving. Annie, doing collective reads. So yin to your yang. Lovers is saying, okay, how do you embrace both sides of you so that you can bring in a partner that displays both sides of you, right? And again, not accepting what your parents told you that love and relationships have to look like, because you have to balance you, and then you invite people in that balance you, right? Okay, so right now in our life, we're going to say, it's my turn. It's my turn for winning. It's my turn for that job. It's my turn for that relationship that satisfies me. Okay? So saying, I deserve happiness. Also, when you're looking at trauma, so I do a lot of shadow work, right? I was talking to my daughter because I'm like, releasing and healing is so, it's pleasure filling, right? Like, if you've ever done breath work and you've done an intense breath work and it's like that, like, ooh, it does something for you. So healing, releasing, as we expand ourselves, we learn how much further we can push ourselves, and it's a beautiful thing. This whole journey is, how do I keep... Yes, you do have to feel it. And this is what I've been dealing with recently. Like, the really ugly stuff that we don't want to look at, that you want to say, like, that didn't happen to me, but you really can't finally let it go until you say, you know what, this thing did happen to me, and whether anybody else believes my truth or not, I have to realize that this thing happened, and I have every right to be angry. I didn't deserve that thing to happen. To actually be able to break through. But it's that admitting yourself that this thing happened and it happened to you that almost tears you apart. Except for that thing that happened that was horrible, it didn't end you the first time. I know it almost felt like it did. And maybe you did fight for your life. And I've been there. God, I've been there. Like, and I've battled addiction. Like, I was raised by alcoholics, married to an alcoholic, alcohol addiction my own self, and I walked myself out of that while my family was telling me that I was the problem for needing to give up alcohol. But it was like, you guys were all enforcing my alcohol and you were all drinking with me. But when I finally say I love me more than I love drinking to be around you guys, they had problems. So realizing, like, healing, it's hard because people around you, they don't want to acknowledge what happened to you. And if they're family members and it all happened to them too, they get really mad because you were brave enough to finally say, like, this cycle of pain, I'm no longer carrying everybody's pain. Like, I'm finally going to say, you know what, this thing happened, I don't love it. But as we gain the courage to speak out, then other people gain the courage. And once we speak, like, that's the other part. Once you say it, it no longer has hold over you. Right? It's no longer that thing that you can't even say anymore. It's like, okay, once I've said it, and how I kind of overcame this was I spent a lot of time, this is going to sound so weird, but maybe it won't. I spent a lot of time decompressing in a very dark closet to be able to get comfortable feeling emotions. Because in the closet area, it's like that whole, it's like a womb space. Right? And I like to do this in the bath too. It's like that womb space, and it's like you feel like you can release and not be judged. So it's realizing, like, that thing happened and I need to address it so I don't keep carrying it along with me. Because if you never actually address it, you just keep carrying it. Like, I look at it now and I go, God, 4 decades of trauma I've unpacked in the last 2.5 years while being in this home, which this home has been a very painful, solitary journey, but also a very cathartic journey. Like, I had a miscarriage over 20 years ago and I carried that around for 20 years. And I finally unpacked it and was like, how traumatic it is to miscarry at 22, a week before Christmas, in the bathroom in the middle of the night while your ex-husband sleeps peacefully in bed. It's cold because it's close to winter. And it was like one of the most, like, it took 20 years to be able to unpack it. But it's like when you finally do, because people just say, oh, everybody has miscarriages, just move along. It's like, you can, but then you don't, you're just carrying it and never truly releasing it in peace. Because once you sit with it, you're like, okay, yeah, that was awful. And people treat you so weird after those things happen. It's like, okay. So realizing, I know it sucks to unpack, but you have to let it go. sometimes radically. You just have to be like, you know what, this thing happened. I can't change it. I've had to do a lot of forgiving of my parents and realizing, like, it felt personal, but it wasn't personal. They were broken children, raising broken children in a broken society. And yes, while I want to bellow and be angry and mad, it's like they were a product of their environment and they crawled so that I could run. So giving thanks to my ancestors that came before me, because I'm doing things like, I'm the one that they prayed for, right? I was the one that was brave enough to say, you know what, this stops with me. This legacy of whatever stops with me. Yeah. So be brave enough to do it. It's hard though. It's hard. Except for then you get to see the cool things, like what healthiness plants, like what healthiness brings when you start putting roots down that are actually like, okay, I'm not hanging around people that make me feel like I have to self-destruct to be around them, right? So 9 of Swords, giving up that mental burden, that chaos, and saying, you know what, I love myself enough to not put myself around these people that make me just feel icky every time I'm around them. So 9 of Swords, getting out of your head, the Tower, letting it go, realizing it's not worth it. I had to ask somebody yesterday, because they're like, well, aren't I allowed to have emotions? I'm like, you're allowed to have emotions, but don't keep carrying them with you. Because you want to go, because this is someone who's 65. I'm like, you've been carrying around this anger towards your mom for 65 years. Like, how many more years are you going to carry it? Are you going to carry it till your dying breath? Because, I mean, I personally don't really care that much about people, right? I'm like, you know what? I feel how I feel about you, and I love you. I'm going to release you in peace. I'm going to keep going, because I would rather just keep going than keep worrying about what someone thinks or how I feel about them, right? Like, there are too little hours in the day to worry about what other people care, even what you care about, like what you feel about others. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. So start focusing on what options for financial revenue that you have, right? If you're at nothing, start building back up. 3 of Cups is that people were celebrating in your energy, and Hanged Man realizing, like, okay, why were they having fun time while I was doing all the freaking work? And realizing okay, so when times get hard and you get sick, you realize who truly was down for you, right? So realizing, like, if I was at a hard time and they knew I was having a hard time and they made my time worse, like, that's not someone that I truly want to invite back to my table, right? Hard times make it very acute. Like, no, I remember when I needed help and they had every excuse in the book that they couldn't. Okay, so the Sun is saying, happier days are coming. It's my turn. We're going to start claiming that. Speak life over what you want. Oh, Annie, we're doing collective reads, boo. The Sun. I need, whether my husband texts you or not, I need you to have the best day ever. Dance, clap, laugh, sing, do something that makes your heart joyful. The Sun is Leo energy. It's like, okay, the sun will come out tomorrow. We are the solar system. So it's like, even when it's been a hard day, we're going to see that sunny in tomorrow like clockwork. So realizing tough times don't last, tough people do. So keep going, whether that person shows up for you or not. All right, Wheel of Fortune. You've been putting in the work. You've been putting yourself in the place that you need to be, and it's going to bring success. Wheel of Fortune is, if you've been doing the right thing, you're going to have good results. And if you've been doing the wrong thing, you're going to be having those results. So 5 of Cups, get out of rumination. Queen of Cups, you are the whole queen or king, whichever. You like, when people say, what do you bring to the table? No, you are the table. So why do you keep taking yourself back to people, places, things that make you feel like you're not part of the club and that your emotions don't matter? So 5 of the Cups, Wheel of Fortune, saying when you get the next reset to your table, when the wheel turns in your favor, remember who couldn't be bothered when you were having a hard time, right? Because you don't want to bring them in on your good time. I always like to tell people that, like, not everybody can come with you because they're going to ruin the fun time. So remember who truly deserves to come with you, who deserves a seat at the table, and who left you feeling like, you were an option. Four of Pentacles. Also watch those who kept you in that financial, like, lack. It's like they knew you were having a hard time and they still suggested that you go to the fancy restaurant that you can afford. Recognize that, right? Because people that truly care won't put you in situations that will compromise you. Because I'm one of those, I'm like, I don't always have money. You want to hang out? Like, let's go for a walk. Let's go hang out in the yard. That is perfect for me. Like, let's go to the park and have a date. I don't care. It's just realizing, like, if they put you in a financial bind and that you were already behind, that's not your person, right? Hannah. Okay, so Hannah, I want to ask you before I start answering questions. What in you have to start asking yourself, because ultimately at the end of the day, if two people are meant to stay together, they will find a way, right? So you have to ask yourself, is the fight worth it? Is my counterpart showing up to fight with me? Because if they are, then yes, you're meant to stay together. If they aren't, like, you have to realize, am I wasting my time here? Right? A lot of, and sometimes it's, you guys need to spend time apart to clear your head to be able to realize what you truly had and then potentially come back together. But sometimes you do have to have, like, space and time to realize, is this a good fit for me, or do I feel every time I go around this person I feel sick? Because your body is an indicator. Like, if you're meant to be with someone, your body will feel relaxed, and if you're not, you're gonna feel tense. You're gonna have headaches, irritability, bowel problems, because your gut is your second brain. So when you are emotionally dysregulated or distressed, your gut will act up, right? Whether it be heartburn, whether it be IBS, whether any of that, that's like your gut is trying to tell you that you are in environments that are not healthy for you. Because when you're in environments where you feel calm and you feel safe and you feel healthy and you feel nurtured, you feel like your body relaxes, right? You're constantly on edge. That's probably not your person, boo. All right, Magician. Watch out for, because a lot of what's going on right now is trickery. It's like people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Hello, Julio. We're doing collective energy reads. So Magician, though, is asking you, what are you gaining from this information to be able to create your most beautiful life, right? Julio, okay, so a lot of this is what a lot of us are facing right now. So with the Magician and your question, I feel it's like you're meant to make your own path, right? Like, yes, you're gonna find, you can always find a job. It feels as though with the Magician, you are meant to make your own path. Like, be brave enough to step out and do something, right? Make it your destiny, whether it be power washing. And I don't know why it's coming through kind of like this, so I'm not trying to be, it's like, if you can do like power washing, or how can you start, like, how can you use a skill that you have readily available that you can monetize off of, that you can set your own schedule, that you can create your own life. Please let me know if that resonates or not, and if you're still Hello. I am Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. We're doing collective tarot. Please chat with me. Like, I'm looking for human connection. I always want something. I'm like, I just want to talk about anything and everything. I am a chatter, right? Just not when I'm talking to when I'm talking to myself, I'm super chatty. But I have 7 animals, so I'm never truly alone, and I'm never truly just talking to myself. I'm normally talking to an animal that I stepped on their paw, and I have to apologize. Because how dare I step on their freakishly long paws or their freakishly long tails. Anybody have cats? Which cats are like teenagers, right? Yeah, so Julio, it's realizing, okay, what in your environment can you capitalize off? Because we all are seeking things outside of us, but truly what we're seeking is freedom, right? We say we want money. What we truly want is the freedom to be able to command our own time. So how do you, instead of looking for like the next like bit of bacon, it's like, how do I create in my environment something that creates the thing that makes me not have to work so hard, right? Because it's working smarter, not harder. Okay. Okay. Ooh. So Julio, my friend, as we step into hopefully a cleaner energy earth, like you're gonna be, like, we're gonna need the engineers, right? And we're gonna need those that are willing to innovate and create and make, a better earth. So let's speak that over you, that you find the most amazing career path that just checks all of the boxes before December 15th. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but let's just say it like that. Like, you're going to find the thing that you're like, this makes me excited to get out of bed in the morning, or this makes me feel like I'm making a contribution. Okay. Okay, so I, believe in technology. I'm like, I can't wait to see what, like, technology, like, utilizing, yeah, why not? Let's put a date on, like, we'll start hearing something. Maybe not a job, but, like, start hearing something. Like, start putting your feelers out. Here's what I recommended to one of my guys, because one of my guys was a solar guy, right? And when I first met him, I met him over a year ago. This is kind of a cool story, because boys are sometimes difficult believers. But this guy came to me, and he was in a part of the country that he didn't want to be in, and had a job but was like not happy, like ready to relocate, and then came to me, and like when I was scheduling our reading together, and they're like, oh my, I just lost my job, and I was like, here's what I need you to do. I go, it sounds like craziness, but I need you to start speaking out into the world what it is that you truly want, and then start applying for the positions, even if it's somewhere that you aren't sure of, or you're like, I don't, like, start applying anywhere and everywhere that you can think of, or that just catches your fancy, because it's the right one. It's like you have to start putting out the feelers. Think of it this way. When we say we want to run a marathon, right? If you are just sitting on the couch and you say, like, I want to run a marathon, well, it starts by making the declaration, like, I want to run a marathon by May 15th. I don't know, I'm stuck on the 15th, but we'll run with it. But then when you start declaring it to the universe, then the universe will start saying you, okay, bet, like, okay. Sometimes, Julio, it's the confidence, or it's the willing to learn. Like, those employers aren't always looking, like, sometimes being new isn't the worst thing. Like, I will tell you this. I was always the underdog. I always came in as the young one, and being new, and I was always the one that blew them out of the water because I was hungry to learn. Like, I was willing to, like, in my profession that I was in before, I learned every job role that I could as quickly as I could, so that I could just be that much more diverse. So sometimes it's not necessarily that you just recently graduated. It's like the right job is out, or the right position is out for you, or it'll be made for you. But you do have to put your feelers out there. You do have to start declaring to the universe, like, I want this thing. How do we make it? And sometimes you don't even have to ask, how is it going to happen? You just have to say, I want this thing. Bring it into me, and it'll bring it into you. But you have to be willing to put out the intention. You also have to be willing to take the offers and sift through them. Like, be discerning when you get offers as if it's a good fit for you. The story about that guy, though, like, he went from coming in, not having a job, not being in part of the country he wanted, to getting a job in the state they wanted, in the position they wanted, with a pay raise, and moving across the country. And he was a non-believer when he came to me. So I'm like, when you come and you do the big scary thing, even if you're like, I've never done this before, I love that. Because when you've never done it before and you have success, then you realize, like, maybe I need to be willing to expand my horizons. Anyhow, I always have the non-believers and, like, the most stubborn, set in their ways, come in and become a believer. I'm like, I don't, it's a gift and a curse, truly. Because they fight me the whole way, kicking and screaming. I'm like, come on, guys. It doesn't have to be this hard. I promise. Hello, hello, Mimi. How are you? I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. Come in. All right, Three of Swords, triangulation, heartbreak, pain, Two of Swords. You had to make hard decisions, cut people off. It is Mercury retrograde, and I promise you, your exes will be knocking on those doors, but you have to say no. Every time I go around with you, all I do is get stuck in this. And I'm going to tell you, friends, like, not every snake is dangerous, because I had a messenger friend end up passing away by my mailbox. It was a snake, and I love snakes, but here's the thing. Not every snake's dangerous, but if it's a venomous snake, like if every time you go around that person, you get stuck in that trap, that triangulation loop with the Three of Swords, you're just finally going to have to say, no more. Like, I'm getting off the ride. So, Mimi, I'm doing collective reads, but if it fits, it sits, my love. And if it fits, please give me love. If you guys are coming in and you're resonating, please give me love. Please hit the like button. Please comment. Please share. I always like to know when I get confirmations I'm on. Of course, I'm normally on 10 of Cups. Okay, so it's one of those. It's like I have to make that tough call and cut things off. But do I want that happily ever after? When I see like this is for 10 of Cups, and this card especially, but 10 of Cups is normally, I think of Wizard of Oz, right? Like, you know, when she realizes home was within her the whole time and the rainbow, and she gets reunited. It's realizing, like, no, I'm good all by myself. I can do bad all by myself. And I'm going to cut that person off because my happiness is worth more than their chaos, right? Poor planning on their part does not constitute an emergency on your part. So when they come in putting you in this bad spot, you need to say no. Because it's like, at the end of the day, you have to put your oxygen mask on first, right? 10 of Cups is saying, I have to make sure I'm good so that I can make sure that the people that depend on me are good. So start cutting out the ones that leave you in those spots that make you feel like you're in your head about shit. Stop letting people gaslight you. Okay? All right. Hello, hello. I'm Lara Joe. If you are resonating, please let me know. Four of Pentacles. It's in reverse, though. It's like once you finally make that decision, like you're like, no, I'm going to chase my dreams. You start coming out of this because four of Pentacles this way, that's like hoarding, right? But when you're in reverse, you're like, you know what? No, it's all gas, gas, gas. Because, my friend, you came here to live your most beautiful life. But if you are watering everybody else's garden, or you're always at their house, right, helping them prepare food, how are you nourishing your own home? I mean, if you share a home with them, cool, but they better be helping tend the garden and collaborate as well. If they're not, you need to start asking questions or kicking them out, right? Okay, my dad was a hard ass. But he always said, no ass, no gas, no grass. Nobody rides for free, right? So you're either contributing or you're Lamborghinis. Hey, Drewvy, how are you? Hello, hello. Drewvy, are you feeling yourself? Because, like, me and my girl, we're, like, feeling ourselves. We're like, yeah, but we also feel our exes, like, hella heavy through song references all over the place. I'm like, ew, shoe fly, don't bother me. Like, the song references have been out of control. I'm like, whoa, someone wants to be included in this conversation. But no, it's time for us. Okay, so this is the channeling that came through for my girl and I. Yeah, okay. So here's the part. It's your turn to not feel so stressed. So you need to start commanding, like, you know what? I'm not even going to feel stressed. Because if it's not, and I had to say this to one of my girls too. Because they were picking a hill that they wanted to be stressed about. And I was like, girl, I'm like, just take the hit on that and take, like, a little less stress off your plate. Like, sometimes you just have to be like, you know what? This doesn't matter, because if it's not going to matter, and I know I've said this before, I'm pretty sure I've said it to you. If it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, why be stressed about it right now? Because honestly, life is, like, okay, after coming out of a very high conflict, toxic relationship, right? I started having to let go of shit. Because I'm like, you know what? Because, example, I used to be super OCD about cleaning. And then when I got towards the end of the relationship, I was like, if I have to walk out of this house, like, if my world ended tomorrow, I'd be super pissed if I spent today cleaning is my last day on this earth. So it's realizing, like, you know what, if this isn't gonna matter, like, if doing that thing isn't gonna make a difference in 5 minutes, like, just let it out of your mind for just a minute. It's your turn to experience happiness. It's your turn to experience joy and ease. Command that over your life, though. Start saying, it's my turn to experience abundance. It's my turn to experience fulfillment. Yeah. Okay, so Dhruvi, and I'm going to tell you this. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience with hard-headed people. I sometimes have to hold the people that I love the most, including myself, and people around me, like my clients. Like, I'm going to hold you with one hand. I'm going to hold the belt with the other. Sometimes that rejection is your protection. So even if you don't get that acceptance letter from that university, that's because you are meant to be somewhere else. And I know it feels like a huge loss in this moment, but sometimes you have to realize, like, no, there are bigger plans for you. Your little mind can't even conceive, that are going to knock your socks off, but you have to trust the process. So right now, since you can't, okay, remember, if it ain't gonna matter in 5 minutes, like, if you know that letter's not coming today, I need you to put it out of your mind and realize that it will show up when it's meant to, or it won't show up. Like, it is out of your hands, babe. So you need to just realize you shot the arrow, right? You pulled back the bow and the arrow, and you release, and what comes from it will come from it. There is nothing else you can do until you receive the paper. So I need you, my boo, to just chill out for a little bit. Okay. And right now, live your best fucking life, Dhruvi. If the world ended tomorrow, I would hate for today to be you spending, like, worrying about an acceptance letter, because again, you shot your arrow, you took aim. The only thing you can do is see how it landed. And for right now, I need you to go dance, sing, clap, hum, because baby, you've been too stuck in that, like, what if? No. What if you don't get the acceptance letter, but you get to spend time in a different place, and in that different place you meet the love of your life, and you realize why all those things before now didn't work out, because it was leading you to this. So start saying, regardless of where that comes from, it's my turn to experience happiness, love, joy, anything. And a lot of times when you get busy doing other things, that's when the big things start rolling in, right? When you forget that you had those feelers out, because you'll get a call from somewhere and you'll be like, I totally didn't realize that I put that out there. Okay, so here's a real life example, right? When I went through school, okay, so a little backstory, I was a single mom, put myself through x-ray school as a single mom, busting my fucking ass. I did have an ex-husband for a teeny bit in there. But when it took me 2.5 years to get from having no college credits to being able to put in my application for the prerequisites, right? So when I put in my application, there was a wait list for the program that I was going into. And the hospital, ironically, the hospital they worked for they had offered a certain amount of seats in their program for a certain amount of their students. Like, they offered a deal with the school. They would take on like so many people at their hospital, and they would get so many people within the program that they could get kind of in earlier. Well, I worked for the hospital, and that kind of worked out for me. But when I put in my application, they're like, you're number 200 and something, and I was like, excited. And she was like, don't get excited, like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, but I'm on the list. Like, it doesn't, regardless of how long it takes from here, like, I've got a placeholder. So realizing, like, and what was cool is they said it was, like, probably 2 years for expectancy before I got in. After a year, they called me. Because, like I say, my employer had made a deal with the college that they would take those seats. So it was one of those that, like, I totally forgot. I went off and I lived life. I got married. I had a pregnancy and a miscarriage in a very short amount of time. But needless to say, it was one of those that's like, we forget that we do those things, but it actually comes to pass like a lot sooner than we realize. Like, before you know it, that time has passed or something changed in your favor. So stop sweating right now. Like, I really did have to tell my teenager, I was like, don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff. Like, if it isn't going to matter in 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 years, why are you sweating about it right now, right? This is all tiny things. Almost everything can be fixed. But it is your turn to realize that life is joyful. Life is easy. Start speaking it, though. Realizing that if it doesn't work out, that's because there's something better for you, right? I have okay, Drake, what type of help do you need? Are you building your finances? Knight of Pentacles, we're grounding, we're stable. I'll see what I can help you with, but I can't help everyone, babes. Some people are beyond help. What do you need, baby? Okay. So Drake, typically I do. This is collective. If I can answer quickly, I will. If not, then I would suggest a personal read, because a lot of times when we've got breakups and makeups, we've got shadow work that we need to do so that we can come back together. So after you decide to fix it, okay. So was it like you were getting a divorce? I mean, if Abel has anything to say, it sounds like a lie. If we want to go off of kitty magic. Okay, so explain to me. So, like, you guys were engaged, and okay, so you're trying to get back together. Discharge for what, I guess, is what I'm asking. Oh. Okay. Give me just, okay. If you would like to take that, take that. If you come back, and we can talk about it. But otherwise, I would suggest booking a one-on-one with me, baby. Which, should you wish to book a one-on-one, sacredhealingwithLaraJo.com, or sorry, sacredhealingwithlara.com. My bad. We do one-on-ones, right? So that's where we dig into the big stuff, the deep stuff, the real stuff, right? Okay, Ace of Cups and Judgment. So we're just going to take those. So Knight of Pentacles, we're trying to be stable, grounded, build that thing, right? And Knight of Pentacles, they're very slow moving. It's the slowest moving one in the deck, but that's because it's building it right. If anybody knows an earth sign, they move so slow. You're like, why? Can you please, like, my son is a Capricorn. God love him, but being a Capricorn's mom is, like, I'm just like, OCD to the max, like, but it's done right. Like, I know if I ask that kid to do anything, it's done right. So Knight of Pentacles is asking you, like, you've been methodical, make sure that you're doing the right thing, but you calling judgment on things, right, that don't feel right, that don't seem right, and bringing in Ace of Cups and happiness, right? Because when you call mental judgment, and I was talking to somebody, they're like, yeah, once I decide to do it, I'm going to do it. My body will follow. I go, yeah, that's because once you call judgment, once you make the mental decision to cut something off, then your physical body starts moving. Your happiness starts moving. When you finally say no to the things that make you feel left out, right, you start bringing in the things that make you feel happy. Like, I'm a weirdo, right? Like, I can find happiness being by myself. So people think, like, oh, being alone, you must be lonely. I'm like, no, dude, I draw, I read, I sing, I dance. Like, I like being alone because then I can dance without people judging me, right? Except for the animals. And they don't really get to have a say in all that because they're animals. They do worse things. They like to sing at 3 a.m. outside my door. So, Judgment. Okay. Judgment, call, it's Mercury retrograde. If they call you, call them a bitch, right? Judgment's finally saying, no more. I'm not opening that door for things that don't fulfill me, right? Stop. If it's not a hell yeah, it needs to be a fuck no. I know language, but if it's not like a sets your soul on fire, makes you happy, you need to be saying no to it. Life is too short for shitty things anymore. If you not realize, like, 2025 has been, we thought 2020 was a dumpster fire. 2025 is beyond. So that being said, like, if it's draining you, if it's leaving you feeling like, it's time to stop going there. Three of Swords, the betrayal, is finally saying, no, I am not going to keep putting myself in people, places, things, paths that make me feel like I'm not welcome. Okay, that is one of the biggest ways to lose an air sign. Like, make us feel like we're not welcome or we're not considered, and you get us in our head, and then we're like, no. So that part of it is saying, like, if I don't feel like I'm welcome, I don't want to keep putting myself in places where I'm not part of the friends. Like, Page of Cups, if it feels like childhood emotional drama, petty bullshit, or apathy, just say, you know what, no, I'd rather not. My peace is more important than your chaos right now. Okay. All right. Two of Swords, make the decision, make the hard call, cut them off. They know what they did, right? People know what they do. And if they don't know what they do, they can call you. And if they can't call you, then is it really the relationship or the friendship that you want? I'm one of those, like, square up, I'm an A's kid. You pull up, we'll settle this, right? If you can't, you're too chicken to do that, then you don't really have beef with me, you have beef with yourself. Right? If you don't know me well enough to be able to have a conversation with me and shake my hand, you don't know me well enough to have beef with me, honestly. Okay, King of Swords, cutting people off, being decisive, realizing this is your life, this is your happiness, and anybody that doesn't feel that you deserve happiness, they don't deserve to be in your life. Like, they don't deserve to be in your life. All right, sometimes you think, like, you're not worthy of them. No, they're not worthy of you, okay? If they don't want to see you win, because when you're winning, we're all winning, right? When I'm winning, we're all winning. So realizing if they don't want to see you happy, that's them problem, and you need to let them go. All right, my loves, I am Lara Joe. I'm going to hop out. I hope you have a beautiful day. I will catch you later. It's been a really chaotic, stressful, long, busy day. Actually, let's talk about this for a moment, story time. Because I don't always understand my path, but, you know, I'm put where I need to be. And an example of this yesterday, like, I went out of my path and ended up running into someone that I needed to deliver an urgent message to because they were messing around. I was like, yeah, because he had hit a deer the night before, and I show up, and I was like, man, you must have really pissed off the ancestral realm or the spiritual realm if I'm having to go out of my way, time, day, path, everything to deliver this message to you. And then this morning it was put on my heart heavy, like I needed to be in a certain position. And within minutes, the reason why I need to be in that position came true. And I was like, dang, that was out of my path too, out of my normal routine. But, you know, when you're called to be places, be places. But when you're also called to rest, please rest. So life is hard, but it's going to get better, right? Like, it's our turn to start realizing, like, no, happiness needs to be your priority. And happiness just being like, do I feel mentally safe? Do I feel stable? Do I feel nurtured? If you don't, start creating the environment for it, because you are the only one that can create it. No one can create it for you. You have to do it yourself. So start creating the place that feels like home, that feels safe for you. How I started was on a tiny dresser, right? Where I started saying, like, this is my little area, and creating, like, my own little altar, my own space that felt like my own, and then expanding out from there. So realizing you deserve a beautiful life and fight for it, my loves. All right.